Hi everyone and welcome to GDPR for Beginners on Learning with GP, where GDPR is simplified. In our GDPR Beginner series, we covered the basics of GDPR. During this series, I quickly mentioned certain complex concepts and I promised you that I will discuss these concepts in detail later, as they absolutely require a proper sit-down. So these upcoming videos will be a deep dive into those and other concepts of GDPR. So subscribe to my channel and explore for more in-depth content. In case you are curious to learn about a topic, you can also let me know in the comments below. Today we will take a closer look at the right to object. As a data subject, it's an absolutely important topic to understand, as you must be aware of what are the things you can object to. And in the end, we will take a little quiz to test what you have learned in this video. So without further ado, let's get right to understanding right to object. Right to object, as clear from the name itself, provides data subject the right to object to processing of their personal data at any point. The grounds for this objection could be relating to their particular situation. This right is based on Article 6.1 from points A to F in GDPR. A particular situation meaning any situation that the data subject is not comfortable with. For example, the extent of processing, the way the data is being processed, how many entities the information is being passed to, and so on and so forth. Once the data subject has objected to the processing, the controller shall no longer process the personal data, unless the controller demonstrates compelling legitimate grounds for the processing, which overrides the interests, rights, and freedoms of the data subject, or they are meant for the purpose of establishment, exercise, or defense of legal claims. Let's take a look at what purpose the data could be processed for and try to understand the right to object from this perspective. For instance, let's talk about direct marketing. It consists of any marketing that relies on direct communication or distribution to individual consumers. In this case, the delivery systems used normally include mails, emails, social media, texting, telephone selling, etc., etc. Here, the data subject shall have the right to object at any time to processing of personal data concerning them, which includes profiling to the extent that it is related to such direct marketing. When the data subject objects to processing for direct marketing purposes, the personal data shall no longer be processed for such purposes. Let's break it down one more time by taking the example of our fictitious company buyme2.com. So let's say you go to buyme2.com looking for shoes. Then the right to object grants you, as a data subject, the absolute right to prohibit the processing of your data by them or any other third party involved with them. So no more tracking and personalized ads on your next web surf. Well, how exactly can you take this action to stop your personal data from being processed? Let's take a look at that. Latest, at the time of the first communication with the data subject, the right to object to personal data processing shall be explicitly brought to the attention of the data subject and shall be presented clearly and separately from any other information. So in our ongoing example of buyme2 shoe shopping visit, in the privacy policy, buyme2.com has to explicitly mention it to the data subject that you, as a data subject, have the right to object to such processing. This point has to be clearly stated there. Buyme2 cannot get away with it by saying that it's obvious or be elusive about it by mixing it with other statements. That leads to non-compliance. So this is a snapshot of right to object. Here, the highlighted part will show you how the company has made sure that the data subject, that is you, are fully aware of the fact that you have the right to object to your personal data processing on the legitimate grounds. So in summary, the companies have to divulge all types of data processings used for any purpose. They should be documented and mentioned in their privacy policy. Any subcontractors that they have hired, third-party people, what they will be doing, what are the different types of personal data they will be processing, all has to be clarified. And then the companies will have to mention that the data subject has the right to object to any or all types of processings that they're using. Companies may, however, add the clause that in case you deny to the processing, we might not be able to provide you the services that we are providing. And after that, it's up to the data subject whether they accept it or don't in order to receive those services. Okay, now that we are clear on the right, let me introduce you to its only exception. So the one outlier that exists to the right to object for data subject is when the data is being processed for scientific, historical research purposes, or statistical purposes in public interest. In this case, if the data is necessary for the processing, your objection might get rejected. This is mentioned in the Article 89.1. With this, we are finally finished with our video on understanding the right to object. And this brings us to quiz time. So let's put to test the knowledge we have gained from this video. In this section, you will be shown a couple of simple questions based on the topics that we have covered so far. The questions will have 4 alternatives and 1 correct alternative. Feel free to take your time or go back to the lesson and find the correct answer. You can write the answer in the comment section below. I will make sure to get to your answers. I hope you got all the answers to the quiz correct. In the next video, we will simplify other complex topics of GDPR. If you have something on your mind that you find difficult to understand, do let me know in the comments below. I really appreciate any suggestions from you guys as it helps me direct my lessons as best suited to your needs. And of course, in the end of the video, as always, we will do a little quiz. So stay tuned for more videos. Do subscribe to my channel, Learning with GP, where GDPR is simplified. And with that, I thank you for putting your best foot forward towards understanding GDPR. If you have any more questions, please feel free to reach out to me at gunjan.gdpr@gmail.com. So see you soon. Until next time, bye!